Hello, everybody. Today we are going to start fresh and create a model for Apple, a valuation model that I use to value companies to invest in. And I haven't actually valued Apple yet, but I'm about to right now. So um, let's get started. I'll name the sheet since I already have a few other Apples that I was going to do it, but I decided to do it originally do it recorded so it's more authentic. So first thing I do is I change the Microsoft Excel stock data type to whatever company I'm doing. In this case, it'd be Apple Incorporated. And I like to update my date of last valuation, which will be today, October 26, 2020. And this is something I used to change, shorten the first year, but it's almost non-material. And my model uses 5 different growth rates. The compounded annual growth rate for net income, operating cash flow, free cash flow, earnings before tax, and revenue. This one's got to be growing for me to be interested in the company. This is in no particular order. This is just the random order I put it in the beginning. And then what I'll do is I'll do an optimistic growth rate and a pessimistic growth rate by using some qualitative data in my what I expect is going to happen versus what these growth rates tell me. I use a really aggressive growth rate. For me personally, or discount rate. Sorry, for me personally, I discount by 12% because that's the average return if you reinvested dividends. So if I'm going to give my money, if I'm going to put my money on the line for a company that I have no control over, I require at least 12%. That's a personal number. Some people will use a 10-year treasury note, which would be like ridiculously low right now. So those are my assumptions. A 12% discount rate. Let's see. And to help me with that discount rate, not discount rate, but growth rate. My discount rate's a constant for me. I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I look at 6 ratios to help me just see the financial health. And also, this is all qualitative stuff. I haven't done this for Apple. I won't do this in this video, but I also look at segments and I look at what percentage of a product creates how much revenue. So, okay, let's get to it. So, what I'm looking at now on my other monitor is I'm looking at the Apple's most recent release 10K. Let me get down to the financials. Part 2, item 7, I believe it. I always get my information straight from the 10K because you never know what kind of data entry mistakes these companies like Morningstar, Value Line, Fidelity, any website that I just look at their numbers when it comes to revenue, net income, whatever. Okay, so right now I'm looking at the total revenue from 2017 through 2019 in their most recent 10K. So that's going to be the first thing I update in this. I keep my revenue over here. Let's see, 2017. Now Apple year ends their financial year in September 28th, which is going to be the day they announce their fourth quarter earnings, and that's literally in 2 days. But hey, I wanted to value Apple today, see what I think their value is before they release their earnings in 2 days. So let's see, total net sales 229, 234, and the way I do it is if it says it's in millions, I'll just add 6 zeros, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Also, I forgot to mention this in the very beginning. A Wall Street type consensus is when doing a spreadsheet, the blue colors will be these are left over from the AMD valuation I did, which I'm gonna make a video about that as well. But this value model, or Wall Street General, usually blue are inputs when you got a cell with blue colored font, and black will be actually need to make this a blue and blue colored as well. And black will be anything formula. It's just a quick way to look to see like what do I need to update when I make a new thing and what automatically updates. So I use a really low perpetual growth rate to be on the conservative side of 2% because it's basically GDP growth, real GDP growth. So it could be higher for my what you use for your terminal value. So let me go ahead and keep updating this real quick. 2018 they had 265, 595, 123, 123. Most recently in, oh wow, the revenue dropped in 2019, 174. 123, 123. Okay. And now, let me look up a 10K for 2017 real quick so I can get these other values. Financial statements. Okay. Here is the net sales for 2016. 215, 639, 123, 123. 2015, 233, 715, 123, 123. Wow, that revenue growth is really actually not what I never actually valued Apple. I've never been that interested in them since 2011 when Steve Jobs died. But I decided as the largest cap company in the world, I want to value them for curiosity. But wow. So in 5 years, 1, 2, 3, 4, or in 4 compounding periods, which is where I've got the 4 right here in this formula, you're gonna have each year on average at let me get rid of the 2.7%. Wow, not even keeping up with inflation when it comes to revenue. It is a mature company, so they could focus on cutting costs. So let's go ahead, and now that we're at the income statement for 2017, let's go ahead and do net income. Let's see. 2015, 53, 394, 123, 123. 2016, 45, 687, 123, 123. And then 48, 351, 123, 123. Let me hop over to the most recent 10K real quick. I always do this by the whole company instead of per share because the number of shares changes. Where I get my number of shares is from Apple. It's from is Excel's stock data. You know, you go here and then you click on. Well, it might be because I have it on Merge and Center right now, but it usually has like a little symbol right here that you can click and it'll give you any type of, like, not any type of, but it's got a few basic, like, number of shares, market cap, whatever. So I get that automatically updated from Excel. So right now they got 17 billion shares outstanding with Apple, but that changes it's very small, but it changes frequently. So I'm not going to value a company by per share. I'm going to value them by the actual net income or whatever growth rate I use for the whole company. So real quick, let's get back to net income. 2018 is 59, 531, 123, 123. 2019 is 55, 256, 123, 123. Okay. Now, this is labeled wrong just because I have it weird, but these 5, I need to work on my spreadsheet, I guess, but these, I put the profit margin here as well. I define profit margin as net income over revenue, so it's, as you can see, it's taking net income over revenue right there. it's not even growing. It's actually shrinking since it shrunk slight. I mean, it's basically stayed flat, but wow, that's odd. I guess I would think after Tim Cook took over and he's like an operations guru that would increase more, but let's see. Let's keep going. Maybe we'll find something in free cash flow. Okay, next one I have is earnings before tax, which is my personal favorite because I feel like that's really what it totally takes out the tax changes and stuff. So let's see, 2017 income before tax is 64,089,123,123. Or what I should say, this is not my favorite number, but my favorite statistic or favorite growth rate. So 2018 equals, let me get back to that, income of 72,903,123,123, and one more, 65,737,123,123. Now let me go take my dog out real quick. As you can hear, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and Lily is good to go for another few hours before she needs to use the restroom again. And let's see, where were we? 2016 earnings before tax. We need to go to the other 10K. Income before provisions. Income before provision for income taxes. So here's 2016. 61,372,123,123. Earnings before tax. Let's see, 2015. Let me make sure I get this right. 72. 515,123,123. Let's see what earning. Oh wow, they shrunk or shrank, whichever the correct grammar is. 70. Let me make sure. 72 for 2015. Let me look at the other. 2019 earnings before tax. 65. Wow. Okay. Let's see what the exact number is. This has basically stayed flat. I mean, your max was in 2015, now that I look at it, or 2018. Barely. I mean, it stayed pretty flat. Okay, let's look at another stat that, since this is more of a mature company, cash flow might be more informative than, let's see, 2017 operating cash flow. Cash generated by operating activities was 64,225,123,123. 77,434,123,123. 69,391,123,123. Now let me go back to 2015. Let me look at this other 10K. Go to the statement of cash flows. 2015. Oh my gosh. 81,266,123,123. 2016. 65,824,123,123. Now I'm looking at the consolidated statements of cash flows 2017. Let me see if I can. I'm just eyeballing it real quick just to see what explains that 2015 jump. Looks like I'd have to research this a little more, but it looks like they usually lost money on other current and non-current liabilities, when it comes to the changing in the assets and liabilities, versus they actually had a gain of 9,000, which would really be $9 billion that year. So that could explain it. See if I see anything else. I'm just looking, eyeballing to see if any numbers are huge compared to. You got a relatively large difference between accounts payable So they bought more stuff that they actually just added to payable. Okay, well, I mean, nothing too crazy, but that's definitely going to hurt the growth rate to have such a big number for 15. Operating cash flow is got a negative 3.9%. But regardless, I mean, in 4 periods, a company as good as Apple, I would think would be exploding. And let's find our capex just to get our free cash flow. See, where do they hide it? In payments for acquisition of property, plant, and equipment. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 7, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 12, 4, 51, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let me switch real quick back to here. Purchases of acquisition. Okay. 13, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 10, 4, 9, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we got all of that. Let's see, was free cash flow growth rate positive? Negative 4.2%. Wow, I'm really not that impressed by Apple, to be honest with you. I think when I look at their balance sheet, I might be more impressed, but I mean, I really don't want to invest in a company to use them as a bank account for my savings, pay to just have a cash sitting in their checking account, if you know what I mean. But yeah, let me go to balance sheet real quick. This one's an easy one because I just go to their most recent. I don't have to switch back and forth. Let me get to the balance sheet. Should have been the first one. It usually is the first one they show, but okay, here we go. And this is how I value, the ratios I have in the financial health box on the left over there in the left bottom. They just draw their numbers from here. So cash and cash equivalents, 33, 383, 123, 123. And you'll notice like some things I leave out, like marketable securities. Like I'm not gonna put that in here. Like there's too much accounting wiggle room for what that technically is. Something with accounts receivable net. I guess I technically do include them in the current assets, but I'm not gonna specifically single them out. 3978 123 123. Now inventory is pretty straightforward, so I'm going to put that in there. Other assets short, let's see, or current you could say as well. 10 9 8 7 123 123. Total current assets 140 065 123 123. Intangible assets, this might be a big one for It's interesting. They don't even list them specifically in their balance sheet, so I'll just skip that. I don't see goodwill. So here's property, plant, equipment. 35 6 8 7 123 123. Other assets long. 41 123 123, which brings our total assets to 317 344 123 123. Debt current 7509 123 123. Current liabilities 95,318 123 123. Now you can use different values for this because you can draw whatever you want from the balance sheet. This is what I find useful to me. Like here's going to be the long-term debt 94,048 123 123. 245,062 123 123. Shareholders equity. Total shareholders equity is 72,282,123,123. Let's see. It's gonna be a little weird because of I'm not gonna dig through the notes of financial statements to get the intangible and goodwill, but current ratio 1.47, pretty good. Quick ratio 1.43. That's pretty good to see a current ratio and quick ratio that close together. Like they're really managing their inventory well. I'm gonna check that. Yeah, it says their inventory is just 3 billion. So yeah. Debt to equity is a little alarming. For this, I add long-term and short-term debt. Wow. I've always heard like they were in such good financial health as well. So I mean that's a lot of debt to equity there. Wow, that's all I'm gonna. Yeah. Free cash flow average for the last 3 years is $3.41 per share, and the current price is 115.05. I'm gonna pause this video real quick so I can fill out the most recent 3 quarters after the 10K, and that we'll look at that as well. So be right back. Okay, I just put in the last 3 quarters, and like so far in 3 quarters they've got $209 billion in revenue, and I'm gonna need at least 50 billion, which looks like they'll probably do. I mean, it looks like they'll probably have a pretty decent year. Like the average of this is 69,000, so they'll probably get 69 or 70,000, and that'll bring it up to. First quarter they had a crazy quarter, so it's tough to say. It looks like I predict they'll get back at least to their last year's numbers, and let's see, earnings before tax. Average 17,000. I mean, it's tough to say that's quarter by quarter. Same thing with net income, but let's see. Their last net income was 55,000. Looks like they'll probably meet their last year's net income as well. But I mean, it all comes down to Q4. It could be really good or really bad. But I mean, it looks like a safe bet to me if you could get it for a good deal. But also during the pause or when I was updating the numbers, I put in my optimistic and pessimistic numbers. Just the fact of each year I feel Apple gets less and less innovative since Steve Jobs passed away, and these are my 5 growth rates I have. You know, I put optimistic situation as a 5% growth rate. So this row is calculating 5% CAGR, compounded annual growth rate, and then this one is calculating a -5 growth rate. So each year, the net income is getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and so that's what I use. That's the growth rates I use. I use the I'm valuing this company by net income, predicted net income discounted at 12% annually. So I honestly can't believe it. Like my range I thought I'd get kind of close to $115, but my range minimum, worst case scenario, like if they're pessimistic, like if they have the -5% growth rate, I would say they're worth $20 a share, $21 basically. If everything goes crazy well and they grow 5% a year, I'd give $40.33 a share. But looks like the market is predicting, like, let me type in 20%. No, they're predicting 21. They're predicting like 20.5%. Oh, it's just trial and error. Basically at $117, they're predicting 21% growth for the next 10 years. That's how far my model goes to that $115. So that's a little wow. Um, no, I have no Apple. I won't be shorting any Apple. I won't be I can't promise. I might be buying some puts on some Apples tonight. But yeah, that's how I value companies, and that's my most recent valuation of Apple. So thank you for watching this. Hopefully, like, you learned something, or if you disagree with something in here, please let me know. But if you did enjoy it, or if it did bring you any value, please subscribe, like, and comment as well. Thank you.